Welcome back. You're tuned into the My Cool Inventions Network. I'm ACOS, the solutionist, Andrew Jankura, right here, the co-host. It's all about inventors. It's all about invention. It's all about entrepreneurism. I don't care if you're listening on one of the 53 radio stations or if you're on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, Android TV, any of those platforms. Wow. You're all entrepreneurs wanting to sell stuff. Am I right or wrong? So this is the part that we actually have a thing called selling secrets. Yep. What is the selling secret? What is the secrets to making your successful product? Let me tell you something. Now, you were doing some research on Amazon the other day, okay? Yesterday. Yep. Because, we always focused on Amazon trying to build that success. And the question we always get from inventors, do you manufacture in America or do you manufacture in China in the Far East? Now, you've heard a lot of things about the news right now because there seems to be a trade war brewing. Yep. And the trade war at this time is kind of the high-level stuff, stuff like landing gears of airplanes or whatever they're doing. It hasn't really affected the kind of the Walmart gadgets selling inventions type of a thing, but I think that's not that far away. I hope these guys back off and calm down because, this could be a real mess, right? So I want to cover here because we always have this debate. Should I manufacture in China or should I manufacture in America? All right. So let me give you some insight on that. Now, you've had music stores and you bought a lot of stuff from China. You bought a lot of stuff. So what is your impression? Because I know in the musical instrument world, like a lot of our pianos ended up getting made in the Asia, right? Yeah. So what is the difference in quality between an American piano and something made in Asia?
Well, there's a few big drastic changes. Wood quality is one. The different glues that they use in pianos, the technologies that's behind them. But the truth is, the technology is an old technology. Now, some companies in Asia, they're smart. They go and buy the tooling from an American company and just buy the old company out with tooling and send it all over in Asia. And then now they have the tooling that's in North America.
So a classic example is that we owned a piano company called the Heinzman Piano Company. We manufactured pianos in Canada. And then what happened is an Asian company, a Chinese company came along, right? Yep. Bought the whole factory, lock, stock, and barrel, everything, Absolutely. All the manufacturing equipment, and they took it over to China. So you had experience of the Canadian-made Heinzmans, and you had experience with the Chinese-made Heinzmans. What are the differences?
There was no difference.
There was no difference. So you're telling me that the workmanship, that's the thing we're trying to talk about, workmanship. Now, right. A long time ago, there was sort of a stigma about workmanship. They thought, the Chinese workmanship is not very good. It's not true anymore. Their workmanship's kind of excellent now, right? So that's kind of it's not a difference anymore. In fact, all your iPhones and cell phones and stuff, these are all Chinese things. The workmanship is actually quite excellent because they figured it out. I mean, these factories, and I've been to these factories. These factories are crazy clean, crazy good, crazy efficient. There's millions and millions of dollars set up in manufacturing there. So, there's a phone. I think, boy, wow, was a pretty good thing. I say iPhone and Al pulls up a video. Boom, just like that. That's what I talk about production value right there. No wonder this guy's one of the best infomercial producers in the whole wide world. Take a look at that. So basically manufacturing quality is probably on par. Okay, so then what happens is the Chinese work for lower wages. Yeah. So now it comes down to the labor cost is actually way lower than the American labor cost. Right. And I think that's where we realize some cost savings, right? That's where we realize some cost savings. Now, I got a couple comments. Steve Warple, Glide Guys glides there. He's made in the United States. Now, his product is interesting, Andrew. Actually, you'd love this product. Joe Cup has chimed into Coaster Pro on the go, also made in America. So those two items, in fact, I know those two items really intimately. The Glide Guys things, you know what his guy did? I'll tell you about the Glide Guys. The furniture movers, moving pianos and stuff, the furniture movers, right? So he has furniture movers, but you know how furniture movers, those silicone slidey plastic things, right? On an angle, if you had a chair on an angle, kind of dug into it, these guys solved that problem. They've got a furniture mover that actually pivots, so it's even better. He's taken an invention and improved it. But basically it's silicone and plastic. It's kind of easy to make in China. And Joe, the Coaster Pro on the go, that's I believe a chamois material. Now, I agree with Joe in the sense that chamois materials, the Chinese chamois materials aren't as good as the German ones. I know the German chamois material is way better than, we buy chamois, so we're in that business. So we're still buying from Germany. We're not buying from China yet. So workmanship is there. value of labor is lower. So there's the Chinese advantage, lower labor value. The second but however, it's offset by shipping. Usually American manufacturers are closer, so you don't have to ship it. If you don't think shipping is something, all you have to see is my American Express, because everything we ship, we always throw it on the American Express. I mean, we're shipping millions of dollars. I mean, it's good for points for me, but I got to tell you something. I mean, I see the cost. I mean, a container, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to move from China. So if you've got a container of pianos, well, maybe you only got 30 pianos on there. Now you got $200 a piano to move it. Now, okay, does that offset the labor cost? So you got to do this analysis. If you're an inventor, you got to make a spreadsheet and get the cost-benefit ratio to figure out what is the deal, all right? Now, the second thing I want to talk about, the inventions that don't need labor. Now you're thinking to yourself, what's that man talking about? What's that man talking about? Money adventures. There are things that don't need labor. And Steve, your Glide Guys thing, not much labor needed, all right? Because if that's a plastic thing, I mean, I've been to many factories in Canada and America. I've been to factories in Germany, and I've been to factories in China. By the way, the plastic machine they use, all made by the same guy. And they literally, I mean, is a machine, big mechanical machine. Actually, I think they're German. I think a lot of these guys are making it from Germany. Right. So the machine, I mean, what they do is they have pellets of plastic and they're pouring it into one end in a hopper. Yep. And of course, the mold and stuff is inside and out spits the plastic parts. Yep. I went to Hohner in Germany and they were doing piano keys or keyboard keys because they were making their keyboards and the accordion keys out there. Cool. And literally some guys pouring a bunch of plastic beads into one end of this thing. In fact, one of their machines didn't even have a guy. A truck pulled up, went down a chute, just automatically fed this machine. On the other end, they were spitting out these plastic parts, right? Now, you can do that in China too, and you can do that in America too, and there's no labor involved, right? Really no labor, very minimal labor involved. Well, in that situation, maybe America's better. Okay, maybe that's why the Glide Guys keep it in America, because when it comes to commodities like plastic, or I'm a chemist, it's ABS styrene. You know, remember when people would say to us, what is that made out of? You know, we didn't want to say plastic because we thought it was cheap. Yeah. So we'd say, oh, it's ABS styrene. Oh, ABS styrene. That sounds expensive. That's plastic. A little selling tip for you, a little selling secret. Call your plastic ABS styrene. Everybody thinks it's some high quality, something fluting stuff. However, now let's go back to the point. The point is, if it's a machine that's just got plastic beads and things that are being spit out on the other side, America's probably better. I'll tell you why. There's no labor. So you just took away the Chinese advantage, right? And you took away the cost it comes to get down here. And on top of all that, the location's closer, so you probably shave your shipping. And Steve Werpel, the guys, goes, they have a machine that runs 24 hours. Yeah, it does. As long as you got that hopper full of plastic, it's spitting out parts all day long, right? Amazing. So I think that's the summary. The summary really is what is my invention made out of? What is my product made out of? Is it plastic? Is it a machine automated thing? Well, maybe America should invest in those machines. By the way, the plastic, I mean, I'm one that I know intimately is this whole piano keys thing. So I saw the guys in China make piano keys. I saw the guys in Germany make piano keys. I saw us make piano keys. We were all using the same machine. Yep. And by the way, plastic is a commodity. It's the same price everywhere. There's no cheaper plastic in China or cheaper plastic in Germany or cheaper plastic in America. These plastic things, these recycled, you can buy it recycled, you can buy the ABS styrene fresh and not recycled. Bottom line, some machine churns out these pellets. The bottom line, the pellets go into a machine, it melts it down, puts it in a mold and spits out the other end. It doesn't matter because the plastic is the same price. And by the way, when we negotiate, don't think, if you hire us to help you in the manufacturing, don't think we're not on the phone yelling and screaming at the Chinese guys going, seriously, dude, it's the same plastic, all right? Same machine you're using. Okay, so you got some cheaper labor, but there's nobody touching the thing. So you better come out, you understand what I'm saying? So it comes down to manpower. It really comes down to skill set of manpower, right? And the Chinese for years have had this advantage, but it's changing. It is changing. The second thing China does, which I guess our current administration is pushing, they subsidize what they're doing over there. They're dumping. All right. Let me explain dumping to you. Mm-hmm. So we had a thing. Remember the piano dumping thing? I mean, what happens is, let's say I'm gonna call a piano Chinese piano factory, and let's say they make a black ebony, beautiful grand piano. All right. What they would do in order to grab the U.S. market and steal it from the American manufacturers, they would sell it over here under their cost.
Yeah, I remember this.
It was called dumping, right?
Yep.
And of course, they would put these guys, all the American guys, out of business. I mean, Baldwin and Wurlitzer and Kimball and all these guys, and we can probably name 10 more. They're struggling because these big companies in China, the government was, don't forget, it's communism over there. It's not an entrepreneurism. It's some form of it. But bottom line is they still control, and they were dumping it into our market. And they were doing it with cars too. That's called dumping. So therefore, the prices were cheaper artificially. And they're also probably artificially manipulating their currency. So those are the factors that I think the current administration's fighting right now. And here's the other thing. Will they steal your patent? The bottom line is usually no. All right. Now, if it's some trade secret, now what's happening right now is the trade secret. You make us NDA. There are some. There's not always no, but the companies. I mean, when it comes down to Glide guys and Joe Cups, Coaster Pros, nobody. I'm not saying the guys don't take this into respectful, but nobody really cares. It's not changing lives. We're not winning wars with that, right? However, there is a thing about cell phones and Apple. A buddy of mine posted something up there where they showed the Apple Mac was knocked off so well that he thought it was a Mac. Until he sat down to it and realized, wait a minute, this is not a Mac at all. So they are copying technology. So you have to worry about your patent protection, and don't be so scared of it. I mean, everybody assumes they steal everything. They don't. They're just stealing the stuff that matters to probably winning wars and stuff, or something that important. So that's number one. Number two, it comes down to labor, right? Labor cost. And number three, it comes down to shipping. So you got to take all those into consideration, whether you're doing America or China. That's just my 2 cents worth of all the experience we've had and billions of dollars of selling. Yep. So that's the selling secret today. And you learned a little thing about ABS styrene too. Don't call it plastic. Hey, Steve, don't call your thing plastic. What's that made out of? Oh, that's some sort of ABS styrene if you on there. And so that's the selling secrets on my cool invention. Do you have the next $100 million idea? Who knows? You got to keep moving.